a romantic song came on, and I was like, oh, what's gonna happen? But until it just didn't, because
Have you ever skimmed through Netflix checking for a movie to watch? You might notice the Kissing Booth movies as among the top rated and most watched. The movies were adapted from the books of the same name, and ever since they dropped on Netflix, fans have gone mad for both the cast and the film. If you're a big fan of the book, you've probably read all the books and watched the films many times. You might have also noticed that there are differences between the books and the movies. Although the movies were based on the books, there were some changes made on screen, and in this video, we're going to discuss the differences between them. But before we get into the video, if you do enjoy this video, please give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content just like this, and ding that notification bell so you never miss another update from us. The Kissing Booth movies are based on the books. The novel of the same name was written by Beth Reekles. A lot of people have been saying that the book seems something like a teenage girl would write, and Reekles doesn't take any offense to that because she was only 15 when she wrote the book, which makes her only a teenager at the time of writing. Reekles is now 25 and lives in Birmingham, but before she found fame when Penguin Random House published her book in 2012, she found success at Wattpad. Her first Kissing Booth story on the platform had garnished millions of readers. If you've not seen the movie yet, we just want to inform you that there is going to be spoilers, so don't say we didn't warn you. One of the main differences between the book and the movie is Elle and Noah's relationship. In both the movie and the book, Elle's first kiss was at the Kissing Booth. However, there is a difference between the two when it comes to the growth of the couple's relationship. Within the book, Elle and Noah went to a party at Warren's house where a guy named Patrick tried to make a move on Elle, and this upsets Noah, where he ends up hurting Patrick. Noah then drives Elle to his house where they end up kissing and making love. However, in the movie, things were a little bit different. Lee, Elle, and Noah weren't at a beach party, and Noah got into a fight because of Elle. He then took Elle to the Hollywood sign, and that is where Elle sets up rules if they were going to have a relationship, and they ended up making love for the first time. In the movie and the book, Elle and Lee have different friendship rules. When they were younger, Elle and Lee made some rules, and one of those rules was that Elle was not allowed to date Noah. So, when Noah and Lee started seeing each other, Elle wanted to keep the relationship a secret because she knew that Noah would not be pleased because she had broken the one rule that shouldn't be broken. When Lee had found out that Elle and Noah were dating, he was understandably hurt and angry. He refused to talk to Elle for some time and didn't want her to date Noah. Elle finally had the guts to tell Lee about her feelings for Noah, and Lee finally accepted the truth. However, in the book, the story was a little bit different. There were never any rules about dating friends, so Noah wasn't off limits to Elle at all. However, he was upset that Elle was dating Noah, mainly because Elle kept it a secret from him. Noah was not the best boy for Elle after all. He did have a history of being a player, and the last thing Lee wanted was for Elle to end up getting hurt. However, Lee was only upset for a night, and by the following morning, the two were talking again. There's a big difference about Elle's date too. In the movie, Elle was supposed to go on a date with a guy named Tupin. He wanted to take her out after inappropriately touching her when she was wearing a very short skirt. However, Elle got stood up and ended up being with Lee the whole night. However, Tupin did follow Elle and Lee to the arcade and apologized. He confided in them that Noah threatened the boys not to date Elle or he would beat them up. This angered Elle. However, in the book, even though Elle found out about Noah threatening the boy who wanted to date her, she still went out with a guy from her chemistry class. Elle was nervous because it happened to be her first date, but Noah was annoyed that somebody else decided to break the rules. Noah took Elle to the date and waited until Cody arrived. The date went well and Cody took Elle home, but as he was about to kiss her, she kissed him on the cheek out of the fear and quickly went inside the house. How about Elle and Lee's popularity? The movie made it seem that Elle and Lee only had each other. Elle is Lee's best friend and Lee is known as Noah's little brother, and Noah happened to be a very popular person in school. However, in the book, Elle and Lee are actually portrayed as pretty popular people in school, and they have a lot of people to hang out with. However, at the end of the day, it's usually just the two of them. Then, there's Warren, who's portrayed as more or less a bad guy in the movie. In the movie, he talks to Elle at a beach party that took place at Lee and Noah's house. She got so drunk that she wanted to go skinny dipping. Warren tried to get Elle into the hot tub in hopes that he would get her to undress. However, Elle resisted and Noah was able to stop Warren. In the book, Warren's actually a nice guy and a very good friend of Elle's. He doesn't take advantage of her and he doesn't ask her to do things that she doesn't want to do. Noah Noah was portrayed as a violent person in the book. In the book, Noah's not a nice guy. He gets into fights with other students, and those are actually depicted in the book. However, it's never shown in the movie. In the book, Noah's also very protective of Elle, especially when she goes out with several guys, and that is something not shown in the movie. Let's talk about Elle's college decision. Her college decision is a major plot point in the movie and the book. However, in the movie, Elle struggles with how to fund her college tuition. The kissing booth is somehow unrealistic about Noah getting accepted to Harvard somehow, but part 2 is more realistic by showing Elle struggling with tuition. After talking to her father and finding out that finances are going to be a problem, Elle decides to join a Dance Dance Mania contest with Lee in the hopes of winning the $50,000 cash prize, which can end up helping her with tuition. However, Lee fakes an injury and Elle ends up partnering with Marco, and the two become closer. Their increasing intimacy ends up becoming a major source of the tension in the second movie. In the novel, though, no such thing about college tuition problems ever exist, and no dance contests ever happened. The change was likely made to make her college decision more realistic, and is also a way for Marco and Elle to spend more time together. It's also a good explanation of how Elle is able to afford her Harvard tuition. What about Elle and Noah's breakup? In the book The Kissing Booth 2, Elle's jealousy over Noah's friend ends up getting the better of her, and she ends up breaking up with him. Elle's jealousy is still a major part of the movie, but she doesn't end up breaking up with him. He breaks up with Elle after seeing her kissing Marco. In the movie, there's an Elle, Noah, Marco love triangle, but in the book, Elle was already single when she kissed Marco during Thanksgiving. In the book, Noah gets back with Elle after she saw him kissing Marco. The two reconcile together, and in the movie, the tension is increased by the love triangle, and everything comes to an explosive climax during Thanksgiving. Another big change in The Kissing Booth 2 is Elle's application to Harvard. One of the biggest changes in the movie's second part was having Elle decide to apply to Harvard. However, in the novel, Elle and Lee had promised each other as kids that they would go to Berkeley together, and Elle doesn't apply anywhere else. The Kissing Booth followed the book, but in the second part, she has a change of heart and applies to Harvard to be closer to Noah after they had problems being in a long-distance couple. When Lee finds out about Elle's Harvard application, it creates a conflict between them that is never fully resolved. The second movie ends with a major cliffhanger because Elle is accepted to both Berkeley and Harvard. By choosing which school to go to, she also essentially is choosing between Noah and Lee. This is a major departure from the novel due to the fact that in it she decides to go to Berkeley and continues her long-distance relationship with Noah. Forcing Elle to choose between Harvard and Berkeley raises the stakes. Does she make herself happy or make decisions that will make others happy? Her decision also adds another layer of conflict to her relationship with her brothers. Plus, it makes her face her financial problems and gives her an excuse to spend more time with Marco. The movie improves on the novel by having all the conflicts resolved in an explosive Thanksgiving dinner. It perfectly sets up the third movie. So, what do you most like about the movies and the books? What are you most looking forward to in the third movie? Let us know in the comment section down below because we would love to know. So, we finally come to the end of the video, and we'll see you guys next time. But don't forget to leave us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content just like this, and ding that notification bell so you never miss another video update from us.